Welcome back to my world. I apologize about the inconvenience. The internet was acting crazy for a minute there. I had to reboot my end of the internet. But nevertheless, we're back. Give me a minute while I get everything back on screen, and I will be right with you. All right? Give me a minute as I get situated back, get my co-host back, share that I'm on, and all that good stuff. Meanwhile, enjoy one of my hot ass commercials. Welcome to my world here on the internet. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp. Support the Felons Uprising movement today by picking up a free baseball cap or t-shirt. Just cover the shipping costs. Again, pick up a free baseball cap or t-shirt and support the Felons Uprising movement today. Just click on the link below and order your free state property no more t-shirt today. All right. Get one of them t-shirts. One of the hottest t-shirts or hoodies that you could get is on the market right now. I don't know what happened to my co-host, but she'll be back on here in just a minute. Just give us a minute as we get situated. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and share the live that was on earlier that I was playing when everything went haywire. All right, here that goes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my co-host back on here and get on with it. They're trying to organize everybody to sign a petition and actually shut that place down because that young boy was either murdered there or somebody that works in that place murdered that young man. I don't know. We don't got full details on this story, but Miss Brenda has a whole lot of details. I got to get her back on here. Give me just a minute as I reach out to her to get back on here.
Quiero que por favor haya unión para poder lograr nuestro objetivo, que es este lugar que tiene. Eso es lo que se está pidiendo y gracias a todos. De verdad,
Miss Brenda has joined us, and like I said, she has a whole lot more information on this. And as we watch the live, she's gonna explain to y'all what she knows about the case. Go ahead, Miss Brenda, take it away.
Just lower their volume just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, like I was saying before, I followed this case from the very beginning. that it started happening.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
at first I was like, oh wow, it's just another young person missing from, you know,
Ramiro Cruz creo que es de
from around the
Alavez,
area.
¿verdad?
Desde esa fecha
And
hasta este momento la policía no le ha dado
so
ninguna respuesta
I started looking into it, and then the story just got weirder
lo que
because
fue lo que pasó con su hija.
supposedly when it first came out, they said that he had left walking down the Lila Road, right? That they last seen him walking down the Lila Road, but they never mentioned that he went into Centerfolds before he started walking down the Lila Road. So apparently he went in there with a few of his friends about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. He went in there with his friend, and supposedly there's so many different stories, but either way, at the end of the day, there must have been some type of altercation between this young boy and whatever and whoever was in that centerfold, because a lot of people are saying different stories, but at the end of the day, it's he was
Porque
involved
hoy
in an
no,
altercation with someone
mañana,
in that
si
centerfold.
hoy no puedes,
Yeah,
mañana,
because I heard that it was
mañana
the
va a haber
Now,
mucha
bouncers, and
participación, mucha presencia.
then I heard the owner. It's just
yep,
a whole lot of different stories.
yep,
And then to know,
yep,
then to know that they were there the night before, searching that area, and then the very next day
yep,
they find the body there.
Yo pienso que todo lo que hemos
yep.
hecho, estar
And then
haciendo
if you
caminata y
notice,
estar yendo allá, hacer
if you
cuestiones,
notice on
pienso que
where
los
the lady
ciudadanos
is
de
at,
este
right? Hold
estado lo
on.
están viendo, ¿sí o no?
If you
Lo
notice
están
where the lady
viendo.
is at, in
Pero voy a lo
in the
mismo,
earlier live, if you
señores.
notice where she was at,
Les voy a
you can
gritar,
see how
perdónenme y
close to the
discúlpenme.
street
Voy y
his
caigo a
body
lo
was
mismo.
found. I mean,
Vamos a unirnos.
Right.
I
Vamos
Well,
know
a
that
this
they
is
unirnos,
said
actually
mis
that
hermanos. Todos somos seres
this
humanos y
is actually
sentimos.
that live.
Eso que
It's
está
just that
pasando.
it's
¿Qué
they're
hemos
done,
hecho?
so it's not no
Actuemos.
longer live. Now we're
Cuando él
watching it from the
pasó,
very
que nos
beginning.
hubiéramos unido,
It's
les
the
aseguro
actual,
que él ya estuviera
oh yeah,
respuesta.
if
Ya
it's the
you might
estuviera
still
recording
need to
of
put it
that
down
live.
bien
a little bit
aclarada.
more.
Pero
Well,
voy a lo
that's just
mismo.
I
Hay
can't
que
turn it
ser
down
Oh,
unidos.
no
okay,
more.
Dejen sus diferencias, hay que ser unidos, hay que
okay.
unirnos
Well,
más.
anyway,
Yo lo que
so
propongo
anyway,
aquí se los grito y
they
se
were
los
there.
digo como es.
This
Yo lo que
family
propongo es
plus
de que
200
hagamos
plus
una organización
volunteers.
de
I mean,
nosotros,
and that's
los
not including their
hispanos,
family.
para
That's
que
just people
estemos
who
en este
came
tiempo,
from
todos
everywhere
unidos
to
en
assist in the
estas
search
cuestiones, en otras
to find
que
this
se
young boy.
pueda ayudar,
Now,
estemos todos unidos.
mind you,
¿Estarían ustedes de acuerdo en
this
hacerlo?
Sí.
particular
Hay que actuar,
group
hay que
literally
actuar y
recorded
los demás
every
seguir.
step
Hay que
that
ver
they did
hechos,
because they
señores,
felt like
hechos,
something
hechos.
smelled
Entonces
like
yo lo único
fish.
que le pido es que
And
ahorita
so they started,
no demos
recording. And
un
as they're
paso
walking, they're
atrás, que
recording. They
sigamos
walked
como
from
estamos hasta hoy,
Centerfolds,
que mañana
okay?
este lugar
They
esté
almost
lleno,
entered into
lleno.
Atlantic
Todos los
City
que puedan venir, que
walking
esté lleno aquí, porque este es el propósito.
because
Este
they
lugar
were
está cerrado
looking
para
up
siempre.
and down, and they were looking in groups, in clusters. So it's like the first cluster, people went,
Compartan el
and then the
video
next
porque
10, 15 minutes, there was other clusters behind them.
es
So
falta de
like
información.
whatever the first group,
Todo el mundo ya
missed.
está
And
aquí
think about it,
beneficioso
how
ahorita
close, they even
en
found a
el
damn
lugar.
sneaker close to the road. That sneaker wasn't even there.
Right. They found
They
that
found a
sneaker
sneaker
after they found the body. Correct.
Perfecto.
right
Ahí
after, where
estaremos.
after the police left, that's
Testimonios.
when they found that sneaker right there next to that pole that the cops apparently didn't even secure or search the area right well because they left the shoe behind.
And from what I understand, when they were searching, they had drones and everything.
Sí.
Let
Oh
alone
yeah,
let alone the police helicopters.
De una
yep.
vez.
There was even
Sí, por la
a like
mañana, de
a
una vez, para
YouTube
que se
out
note,
there with
porque
their phone
mucha
drone
gente
and
no
everything.
sabe
Like
de
there
ese
was people
caso.
out there
Traigan
doing
la
their
foto
thing.
Para
mañana.
mañana traigo la foto.
Right.
Yo no sabía que
So
eso había
anyway,
sucedido aquí
¿Lo
mismo.
vamos a
so
apoyar?
this group of
Sí.
people, including the family, they've been going up and down the Lila Road. The police was there. Everybody was
Comparte,
there.
comparte el
The police
video,
left.
Daniela.
Apoyemos
The
porque
police
todos
had left
queremos
the day
servir.
before yesterday around 5 p.m., but the family stood there till 12 o'clock in the morning or so.
Mira, Daniela,
And they sat there
señor
at
de
that
la
Centerfold's
policía.
parking lot. It wasn't until the very next day when they were going to resume the search that somebody Like, so all somebody did was just walk down, and it was right there from far. It was clear as day that there was a body put there. Now, looking at the way that shoe was
Sí.
placed, they're, I don't know, they're not suspecting any foul play, but they're saying that there was high tide. But there's videos of how that area looked during that search. There was no
Compartan el
person
video.
there at all for them to say that he just magically appeared right there.
And what is the motive
There's no
for
way.
these people? What is the motive for these people doing what they're doing? Why are they there and they continue to be there at that centerfold place?
Oh, because they want to see justice. They want to see justice because they downright believe that a lot of errors were committed, and they believe that a lot of those errors were committed because they do come from a Hispanic community. So they feel as though as a lot of things weren't taken because if they say that, and these people know that 100%, thousand million percent sure that there was no person there at all when they searched that for a whole 36 hours.
And what do you say to
Those people were,
the scenario of the high tide? That law enforcement they're saying that there was a high tide, but clearly, if they were there the night before to
but they
past
have,
midnight,
uh,
and there wasn't no high
we
tide.
don't, I'm not no, I don't know too much about geographics and stuff like that, and earth and land and what water will cause to the grass and stuff like that. But I do know that if water does come in contact with this grass, it does become saturated at some point, kind of leaving it kind of muddy, very resistant from the walk. But if you look at all their videos from day one, the grass was dry. There was no type of water overage on there. There was no indications of high tide. Yes, probably so, but not in that area where he was found.
Right. Right. So from what I understand, these people have a petition going as well, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They know in their heart, they believe in their heart that whatever happened to that child happened to him in the centerfolds. And I say child, even though he's 19 and they put him up there as a man. Yeah, he's 19, but he was still he was a 19. He was still in his teen years. He was still in his teen years. He's 19. That's like, when we think about stuff like that at 19, a mom who's about to have an 18-year-old, a mom who's about to have an 18-year-old pretty soon, he could be going one day to go do something like that.
And that shoe that they found,
They didn't take they took it down to the station, but nobody came to get it. Like, they took it themselves down to the station.
right? I seen when they picked it up and they put it in the bag.
Yeah, it's just because. Yeah, they took it down to the station.
Yeah, he was only
But you know what?
19.
That's just like, you know what? And you know what's good about it is that nobody turned their back on this, even though he entered into Centerfolds, a place where it's known to, but nobody held that against him. They still went out and they still looked for him. They still went out and they still involved themselves in making sure he was found. I mean, I don't know, and they did not judge. They helped find this person, and I believe that he was placed there. He was placed there only because of, look at how much high traffic was coming around this business up and down that area. Do you really think that this business wants that for their business? No, I believe that he was put there to shut these people up, but they refused. They got him now, but they're not going to shut up now. They're just going to continue doing what they're doing because they highly believe that that child was placed there.
I mean, I tend to believe that as well. I mean, they were there the night before. They covered all that area. They had drones, police helicopters, let alone all the people, volunteers,
Yep.
police that were out there, along with dogs and whatnot. And
Y sobre todo
nothing was spotted
pedir,
then.
señor,
Then
están sobre
for
todo
the next
tratando de
day,
pedir asesoría
for
a
them
donde tenemos
to
que ir.
mysteriously
No
find
importa, hay unas
a body
organizaciones como
face
Mujeres
down,
por el
face
Progreso
down,
que llegaron aquí
you know.
acá dándonos
Right.
And
ayuda y aquí estamos
what I find
solicitando
strange is
para
And
that
then
apoyar y para
we
ayudar.
still don't, we
Quieren
haven't heard
desahogar, quieren estar
what
teniendo
was the
paz en el
cause of
lugar.
death,
No hay que quedarnos cerrados
or
porque por eso es
nothing.
que estamos viviendo
Like
todo
I
esto.
really
Porque
haven't
pasan
heard
unas
nothing
but they
cosas,
did
on
pasan
regular
unas
in the
inconveniencias.
regular
Hay
media
que volver
about
un
this.
cuarto, ¿no? Esa gente es así. No olvídense
the
del
media
pasado,
did the
vamos.
like the
Que
news
cosas
outlet did
semejantes
put out there
serán
that he
fácil
got into
sentencia.
some type
Que
of fight
tengamos
and
esta
possibly got punched in
mentalidad
his face.
después de
So
todo
that's
lo
what
que
I'm
estamos
saying. There was a
viviendo.
boy out there in
Yo
the parking
tengo
lot who
toda
stated that
conciencia de lo
he
que
got into a
estamos
fight with the
viviendo. Mira,
bouncers
si tuviera
and
esperando
he got,
estas
that
enfermedades,
the owner hit him with
estos
his truck.
peligros, no le están
And then you
pasando
have
mientras
the
están
newspaper
ustedes.
outlet saying that he got
Ustedes
into some
salen
type of
aquí a decir lo
altercation
triste
and fight
y
inside
decir que
the
todos estamos aquí
Centerfolds, and he
en
got
una
punched in his
vida que
face, leading
hoy
him
lo
to
tenemos
leave
y mañana no sabemos.
the place. But let me tell you
Por
something.
favor,
If your friends
que
are waiting
exista
for you
la
in the parking lot,
humildad,
right?
que exista la
How in the
hermandad,
hell did they miss
señores.
you leaving,
Yo
walking
quisiera que ustedes
down the opposite way when you
entendieran
knew
que
your friends was
esto
out there waiting for you?
que
Or did you know
nuestros
that your
hijos
friends left you? I mean, I don't get the
todo lo
friend
que hemos
part
estado
just as
Yeah, I
much
viviendo.
as
don't
I don't get the
understand that
Que
centerfold
either.
part.
estas cosas ya no las
I don't
podemos
understand it
seguir
because I know
viviendo.
whenever I go out with my
Nadie deja que
friends,
se
uh,
incentive.
we have
Nadie se
the
los había
no friend
dicho.
left behind
Yo
policy.
tengo la
You know what I'm
bandera
saying?
tan grande con
Nobody
Right.
ellos
gets left behind.
ahí.
If we if
Que están
we
tomando decisiones
if
que
we
son
arrive there
malas.
together, we
Y no
gonna
me
leave together.
importa la crítica. Aquí voy a
Right.
estar.
I don't know.
Y voy a
I don't know
hacer
how
Right. But their
today's.
friends, but
sentadillas.
check this out.
Que haga
But
lo que
wait, check this
exista la
out. Okay?
organización. Y que nosotros
His
mismos
friends
nos
reported him
formemos.
missing two
Y
hours
todas
after
las
they went looking
fuerzas
for him,
no
right?
nos quedamos
Mind you, they
calladitos
couldn't
aquí
find him.
porque
They
hay
kept
gente
calling his
que
phone, and
hoy nadie
supposedly,
quiere que nos quejemos.
supposedly that one of the
Aquí
bouncers
tenemos
came
que
out
ayudar a
and
esta
handed
gente. Por
their
favor,
friend, his friend,
¿van a apoyar
his
la
phone,
organización, sí o no?
okay? And then,
¿Van a estar dispuestos a
they
apoyar
had his
esta
wallet.
organización? Yo quiero que nos
The friends
pongamos
had
de
his
pie
wallet, and then when the
frente a
friends hand
todas
over the
estas
wallet to his mom, there's no
organizaciones.
money in there, and the credit card
Espero
is
que nos
missing. And their
organicemos como
story
seres
behind that
humanos,
is
como
that
le haga vosotros la
they took the
organización.
wallet from him
Eso
because
es todo.
he likes to spend money,
¿Están de acuerdo?
but then he took his credit card. But then
Bueno,
if he likes to
sigamos
spend
¿Alguna otra
adelante.
persona
money
que
and
quiera
that's the
decir
reason why
algo,
you
que está
took
en
his
problemas?
wallet, where's his
Este es el
money at?
momento.
Well, that
His
type of
money was
place.
gone. Yeah, he was
That
gone.
that type of place is the type of place that you don't want to take your card. You really want to
Que no
take a bunch of
vengan.
ones, right?
Hagan, hablen, digan lo que piensen.
Right. They
Isn't
said that
isn't
he
that
left with
isn't
his
that
card so he can
establishment?
go home. Not his money.
But isn't that one of those establishments that
Yep.
you
Todos
know?
podemos
Yeah,
opinar.
it just sounds mysterious
Yeah, when they got
all the
professional
way around.
dancers.
Para decir y expresar lo que queremos.
Yeah,
They got
the
professional
ones that.
dancers there, yeah.
Quiero informarle que tenemos un total,
Yep.
perdón,
They're
de
all around town. But
132
anyway,
firmas.
um,
Obvio que
how
sabemos que
how did
ustedes
his
recaudaron
friends have the wallet
muchísimas
though, and
más.
then say that the reason why they got the wallet
Acabamos de
is
recordar
because
que teníamos
they didn't want him to spend no money?
No, ¿verdad?
Well, how is that? How is that when you return the wallet to this family, it had no money in it, and the credit card was missing? And I'm wondering if he had the credit card on him, they need to thoroughly check out his friends and what kind of connections they had with Centerfold, because this wasn't the first time that that boy got kicked out of
Usted tiene los
Centerfold.
papeles, mi
That was his
problema es.
second time
Sí, yo tengo
that he
los
got
papeles.
kicked out, and the bouncers clearly knew him. I don't understand why they knew he was on the bar list. I don't understand why they allowed him to go back in there and what was the purpose of allowing him to go back in there. You know,
So he had issues with that place before.
the very first time that he went in there, yes, that's his second time going in there, and the second time he no longer has a breath, and that's crazy.
Here it is.
Yep. That was his second time going in there, and the first time he got barred. That's his brother is the one that's saying that.
Wow.
His brother's the one that's saying that he doesn't understand that if he got barred the first time and they knew him, why did they let him in? And what was the
No.
purpose of allowing
Yeah,
him in there? For him
how did
to,
he get in? Yeah, because you would think that that
yeah.
would be an over 21 type of establishment.
Yeah, and they said it that even the newspaper outlet stated that they don't accept in their, listen to this, on their website and their Facebook page it says 21 and older, but they knew these were young ass kids because they produced ID to these people. Okay, so you think that he a fake ID, or you think he showed them his real ID? You know, money
Because
talks
I
and
heard
bullshit walks.
I heard that was the type of place that they allowed you in. Uh, as long as you was over 18, you could get in, but you couldn't drink.
No,
But
well,
I
at
don't
first
know if
somebody
that's
said that to me.
true. I don't know if that's true or not.
Somebody said that to me, but the newspaper outlet clearly stated, if you look onto their website and their Facebook page, it says you can only enter if you're 21 or older. What was
Well,
he
so it
doing there?
sounds to me like they got
Why
some
was he
trouble
there
on
at
their
that
hands.
time? Right, and then where was his so-called friends? The same ones that were looking for him for 2 hours. Why weren't they there leading the pack and finding him again? Were they detained? You know, did their stories not pan out very well? That's why we didn't see them there, and they were being held until he was found. But then again, if they were detained, how did he end up there? You know what I mean? The boy
I
still
would
ended up
I would like to see the
in
footage
an
because
area where they searched.
I'm sure that in that area there is plenty of surveillance cameras. So I would, it would be interesting to see the footage.
Right, right, absolutely. Because they didn't show the footage from when they said that he was walking down the Lila Road. They could have at least shown that footage on TV, because they said it multiple times, even through the news outlets and everybody else, that he was seen walking down the Lila Road. So that means, you know, they would have caught him leaving, leaving Centerfolds. They would have seen him walking, making that right straight off of Centerfold, okay, and walking down the Lila Road, or to where the camera can at least see that he walked off the premises, you know, which that's so
Right.
crazy. That's crazy as hell. If you think about it, you still think about it. You like, I watched every freaking live video with them. I was looking in the grass like if I was there in Pleasantville. And let me tell you, nothing with as much activity and drone and all of that stuff, there's no way in hell they missed that boy. And that boy is a very hefty child too. He's very hefty. You know, he's not a skinny kid. He's very hefty. And then that sneaker that they found right there on the side of the road. Come on, those people were seeing that sneaker was there. It was so obvious.
What I didn't
And
understand
let's not
was
talk about the container,
what I didn't understand was
the fresh food
how
container that was right next to the sneaker.
right. But what I didn't understand is how there was people all over that area right after they found the body. It wasn't not even an hour after they found the body before there was people walking all over that area. Like what kind of crime
Right?
scene?
It's like they hurried up. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like they hurried up and tried to pick them up, to get them out, to get everybody out from that area. I believe that at that point, they they did not want Centerfold to lose business. They wanted to hurry up and clear the situation so Centerfold can still obtain his business.
But why would law enforcement want Centerfold to continue on business? You would think that they would try to, they would be trying to close the case. That's.
Pero no vamos a expresar malas palabras, ¿ok? No
Yeah,
malos insultos ni
that's the
nada por el
multi-million
estilo
question
de
right there.
eso. Y
Don't
entonces
nobody
yo
know.
digo que
Unless
But
Centerfold is in bed with law
el
enforcement.
señor aquí me está diciendo que mañana los que
well, I
no
don't know,
están en el
because as soon
registro
as that
y los
this
que van a
happened
ir
and
a
those
Estados
and people
Unidos
knew that this child was
pueden
last seen coming out of Centerfold,
ser igual
people were saying
presiones. Esta
that there was
falta
already
de
issues being
respeto
questioned
es la
about other
expresión
disappearances that happened when it was called
de
Delilah's
la
Den.
opresión y esta gente
Oh,
oprime
really?
el movimiento que nosotros estamos haciendo.
Yeah,
Y eso es lo que queremos.
So tell me a little bit more about that.
No, porque estamos buscando justicia. Pero que
About
ellos
when it was
I'm
dejen
looking into
Delilah's
that
Den.
myself.
de desistir de aquí.
When it was Delilah's
Ellos van
Den,
a desistir de
it was
aquí.
being looked
Y
into
este,
about some girls that had went missing out that way or something like that.
firme hasta
Oh
ver
wow,
la
some dancers or
solución
something.
But
de
that's
mi
neither.
pueblo,
But
sea
that's neither here or
cesada,
there because I
sea
haven't
para
fully yet
siempre. No
actually
podemos
looked into that
permitir
yet.
que esto siga
Right.
sucediendo
But
aquí.
you can see a lot of people
Vamos
when
a
they're
tomar
posting and sharing these
medidas
videos, and a lot of people are
firmes.
the commentary on these
Vamos a
videos.
pedir
You
a
can
todas
clearly
esas
and
personas
then
que están
and
en
if
las
you
redes
Google
sociales aquí
and if
en
you
el
also Google centerfolds,
video,
because that's not the only
que
centerfolds,
salgan
and I'm not saying the only
una foto
a
de
lot of
todos
it
en las
is not
redes
incorporated. It's just
sociales,
single,
porque
single,
la mayoría
singly
quieren
owned,
esto
whatever.
pueda estar
Right.
Anyway,
There's a centerfold. There's a
but when
centerfold.
nosotros
There's a
podemos
centerfold in Roanoke, Virginia,
estar
but it's not. It's
unidos,
not a
pero
titty
vamos a
bar.
unirnos
It's a
en esta
sports
red
bar.
de justicia
But yeah,
que va a resolver
I
todo,
see. I see
que
what you're
Dios
saying.
existe y que vamos a ver una solución y
yeah,
vamos
that
a
there's a lot of, if you Google centerfolds into the
mañana
business,
vamos
you
a
can see that a lot
trabajar
of
para
weird
poder
stuff been
estar
happening.
todos aquí.
But it's real
Este,
common because names get shared, and especially if they're not patent or whatever. Well, I don't know, but anyway. But as soon the commentary on some of these videos, a lot of people were saying that a lot of strange things happen coming in and out that bar, that establishment.
So you think that if something went down there with the staff, one of the bouncers, or even maybe the owner?
Oh, well, they stated that it happened inside. So whatever happened, it happened inside. Did they use aggression to where they actually did something that kind of took his life away during that scuffle of maybe trying to get him out of the establishment, all of that stuff. You know, uh, Whatever. But what the family does, what these people do know, is that they will not take that high tide stuff as a reason why nobody spotted that body, because they call bullshit on that, because they've all walked up and down that place, down that road for 36 hours
Oh yeah,
and
that's
nobody's
why
seen
they're.
anything.
That's why they are doing what they're doing. That's why they're reacting the way they're reacting because they feel as though that something funny is going on. Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Right. That's how, right. And you know what? Let me tell you something. That's the kind of community too that in the very beginning when things happen like that to Dulce, um, that they just did not care about anything of background of the family. They didn't care what happened, why it happened. What they cared for was the well-being of that child to be returned home, just like this child right here. The community didn't care if he came out of Centerfold from doing whatever he was doing in there. They didn't. The community didn't care what he was doing in there. What the community cared about was that he did not make it home.
I
Okay, and
mean,
then that's why they sat there and
he's
they looked up and down.
he's a 19-year-old young man who, I mean, he
Hmm.
looked to he must been heterosexual, like women. I mean, shit, what's wrong with a young man
Hmm.
going to a titty bar? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, you know how people are. Well, you know how some people are. You're not supposed to be in there.
Oh,
My whole point is that people weren't
I guess the
judgmental about anything.
I guess the world is Christian now.
You know how that goes. They weren't biased into them
¿Cómo
not
se llama
being
su hija?
from these states because you can clearly anyway. What my condolences to this family, because even I genuinely did not think that an outcome like that was going to happen. I genuinely thought maybe he was out still, and it was just he was having fun because they said he barely did anything, that he always used to like to play basketball. He worked at the mechanic shop with his brother. He just graduated high school in 2020. He was going to school to be a barber, so he was going to obtain his business. I mean, the boy had dreams just like any other
Right,
child.
he had his whole life ahead of him. At 19 years old,
Right,
shit,
he
he
just
had his whole
graduated.
life ahead of him.
A venir mañana.
Mm-hmm.
Mañana necesitan de mucha
Yep.
asistencia
Sad
y mucha
situation.
participación para el día de mañana.
Yeah, but tomorrow, I want to go down there
Están citando para
and
las
go out
4 de
there
la
and
tarde.
support the cause, only
Para las
because
4 de la tarde y estar aquí apoyándolos
there's a lot of things that
físicamente.
went wrong down in Dulce, that went wrong down in that goes wrong in certain cases that are biased, I guess. And because look at that, like how does it, and I still ask that question, like how in the hell did he appear there when that thing was searched by 200 plus people?
Yeah, it just doesn't
And you
make
could even
sense.
see it on the news, like there's videos, right? And how close he was. Probably okay, if Noema's car, right, where she was parked at in the park, from the swings was 90 feet, right, and people say, oh, she couldn't see her, right, and that was a pretty nice distance from the centerfold to where they located his body. Looks just about 300, maybe to 350 350 feet, maybe from 300 to 350 feet away from centerfolds. So that's how kind of close, I would say, anywhere between, like I said, 200 to maybe 300, because we don't measure like that, but noting the distance from the centerfold and the videos, it was not too far down the road at all. You know what also strikes is that right there where they located the body, there was a pole, right? And the family went up there and put one of those missing signs while the police was out there searching with their drones and their dogs. He was not there.
Right, yeah. Right there where they found the body, there was a sign.
There was a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
There was a flyer right there. They put that flyer there. He was not there. He was not there. He definitely was not there. Nope. There's no way. That's why I always say that it's okay for them to go back and let, in reference to Dulce, when you want somebody to go back and research the area, it's okay if they go back because something could have been missed.
Yeah, apparently, they
Look at
definitely
in the
missed.
Brian Petito case.
Yeah, but that was a whole different situation. That area was really flooded. That area was really flooded.
Yeah, that area
I
was
mean,
submerged. Well, anyway, well, like I said, we'll be tuning in. Hopefully tomorrow or something like that, we could get to go up there so we can show some support.
Yeah, I think that we ought to take a trip down there. If I can't make it, you probably can make it. But I gotta do my thing tomorrow with the appointments and whatnot. But if I can't make it, you can make it, and help us spread the word about this young man here, this family is petitioning to close this establishment down. They've been there every day since they found this young man deceased out there in Pleasantville.
Ya no
Mm.
escuchó
They're not trying to let nobody in,
la información.
and I support them on that. And as soon as I get a chance to get down there, I'll be down there myself to support them as well. Do you have anything else for the
Yeah.
people?
Oh no, that's all because I'm kind of cooking. I'm almost done.
All right, good deal. Well, guess I'll let you go, and then I'll close this out. All right then.
There's a
Say,
few
yep. All
Oh,
right, I'll talk to you.
and shout out to all our followers. Shout out to Kathy, that she's been on since earlier. I meant to say thank you to Kathy for tuning in, and thank you to everybody that was listening. We appreciate that you come on and listen to us babble all the time and mess with our internet failing on us and all that stuff. And we appreciate you guys very, very much.
Definitely, we definitely do appreciate the patience and all that good stuff. All right then. Uh, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right.
All right, well. All right, well, that was my co-host, Miss Brenda. Well, guess continue to listen to this live, I guess, if y'all want. It's about done. But yeah, I'll be down there tomorrow to support the family. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but I will be down there to support this family, sign their petition, and you know, hopefully some of you guys will do the same.
Nos dé y se nos preste para poderlo hacer lo más cuanto que uno pueda, ¿no? ¿Sí me entienden? Entonces, vamos a ver, y yo lo único que les pido, que sigamos firme aquí, que sigamos firme. Ahorita vamos a estar, don Eulogio, hasta las 6 de la tarde, que ya nos queda poco tiempo. Yo les pido de favor que ayudemos a recoger basura para que no tengamos ningún complaint de que estemos dejando cosas que no, porque usted sabe, esta gente se va a quejar, y entonces hay que tratar de estar bien, como hasta hoy. Se los vuelvo y se los repito, como hasta hoy, todo bien, todo tranquilo, así como estamos. Y vamos a ver mañana, ojalá que el clima, yo le pido a Dios que esté un poquito frío, porque Adriana ya no aguanta mucho. Entonces vamos a ver, los que no pueden estar en la mañana, pueden venir a mediodía o en la tarde, así como puedan. También nos podemos como estar en grupo. Mira, ahorita no puedo, pero voy. Este grupo está ahorita, este grupo está para tanto tiempo. Y en la tarde es cuando se quiere más gente. Por favor, avísenle a todos sus familiares, a todos los que estén viendo videos o subiendo videos, por favor. Avísenles que a partir de las 4 de la tarde en adelante queremos la mayoría de gente aquí en este lugar. Todos que quieran participar y venir son bienvenidos. Lo que queremos es que las comunidades, Atlantic City, todos esos lugares aquí, circunvecinos que estén aquí presentes mañana, los queremos, por favor, que hagan acto de presencia. Yo sé que todos trabajamos, yo sé que todos tenemos obligaciones. Yo tengo mis hijos, miren, todo el día no están, pero me estoy comunicando.
She's asking for everybody to come out tomorrow, out to the Centerfold, to, help them out with their cause.
Una solución a todo este problema, a todo lo que estamos viviendo. Por favor, yo lo único que les pido que tengan un poquito de calma, las cosas se van a ir dando poco a poco. Yo sé que todos estamos ansiosos, que queremos saber ya, y eso es lógico, eso es lo más normal. Pero hay que tener calma, las cosas se van a ir dando y vamos a tener respuesta, la familia ya lo dijeron. Y vamos a seguir aquí apoyando, nos queda poco tiempo para ya retirarnos y mañana son bienvenidos todos otra vez nuevamente. Gracias, muchas gracias a todos los que están aquí ahorita aguantando frío. Yo sé que esto es demasiado cansado, yo me siento demasiado ya agotada, pero aquí vamos a seguir. Bueno, eso era lo que se le quería informar. Gracias, seguimos en contacto. Muchas gracias. Este señor viene de Bailan y él dice que mañana nos va a estar apoyando y va a ser gente. Muchísimas gracias. Pueblo unido
¡Jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! ¡El pueblo unido jamás será vencido! Se ve, se siente, el pueblo está presente. Se ve, se siente, el pueblo está presente.
Gracias, gracias, de verdad, gracias, te lo agradecemos. Aquí mañana aquí necesitamos la mayoría de gente.
El hermano de don Román, creo.
So who's coming with me tomorrow, or with Miss Brenda tomorrow? I'll be going on the next trip. But who's coming with Miss Brenda tomorrow? Let me know in the chat room. Who's going over to the Pleasantville tomorrow?
Ya los que quieran acompañar al resto pueden ir y todo tranquilo, ¿no?
Pero ya le dije, mañana se trae su ese y...
Ya van a limpiar. Están recogiendo.
Sí, mira, ¿con qué están agarrando?
¿A dónde reza? Ay, ay, ay. Café, pizza, donuts.
And as you see, they feeding you, so you have no excuse. Go on down there and support this family. And meanwhile, get you a plate. You feel me? Justice for this young man,
Llegando más gente.
Irving. Justice for Irving.
¿Ya se van a retirar?
Pray for this family.
Ya van a ser las
I
7
am.
porque se va a ir al resto. Ya ahorita ya se hizo lo que se tenía que hacer. Entonces mañana vamos otra vez a continuar aquí.
¿Qué hora son? ¿Qué hora son? No sé. 5:32. Sí, era toda la información con la policía.
I just don't understand how you go out to a club with your
Ayer se dijo
boys
que en 24 horas y ahora
and
mandaron a avisar que en
you end up
48
dead
horas.
and your boys don't know nothing. Yep, they end up with your
Mañana
wallet.
todos los que estén viendo y que están en las comunidades
I don't
circunvecinos están pidiendo que
sound
venga la
Don't
gente de
look right,
Bailan,
don't smell right, none
gente
of
que
the
pueda
above.
venir de Northfield, Linwood, Somers Point, Ocean City,
We come,
Oxygen, Galloway, Pearl Harbor, Atlantic City,
we coming.
Bednor, Margate, Lomport,
We got your back, my peoples.
Toms River,
Us Latinos
todos los
stick together.
alrededores
Unity is
puedan
about
venir
that
mañana,
unity.
de preferencia pueden venir en la mañana, quien guste, quien pueda venir por la mañana, quien pueda venir mediodía o por la tarde, pero se requiere más participación a partir de las 4 de la tarde. Como escucharon, la policía va a estar aquí también mañana resguardando el orden.
They said at
Pero
4
mañana
o'clock.
necesitan mucha presencia aquí partir de las 4 de la tarde, 4 y
4
media,
o'clock
a
in
las
the
5
evening.
de la tarde. Es lo que dijo el padre
So,
de Irving.
That means that I'm going to be able to make it, because if it's after 4, I'll be done with my
acudan mañana
doing the day stuff, and
a
I'll
apoyarlo
definitely be able to
nuevamente.
make it. So I'll be there,
También hubo presencia, hubo
signing
participación
petitions, and I'm
de
down with my Latino peoples.
otra persona, dio su nombre, la verdad quedó grabado aquí, lo voy a buscar en el video, que tuvo también un caso igual hace 2 años. Me parece que el señor es de Ipalapa, de Santa María Ipalapa, Oaxaca.
And when we go
Él también
over
va a
there,
estar
let's all
participando
wear
aquí
our yellow
sobre el
shirts
caso
with
de su hija.
Justice
Van
for
a unir
Dulce on them.
las dos familias,
When we
los
go
dos
down there,
casos.
if you don't have one,
Y
holla at me. I got you.
Telemundo, la
Just
muchacha
let
de
me know that you
Telemundo
need
está
one,
haciendo un
and I'll
compromiso
order
con
one
las
for you.
dos
But
familias
may not be
de
here on time
apoyarlos en una
if we're going tomorrow.
investigación, en forzar más el caso de ellos para que se resuelva y les den una solución, les den información y todo. Gracias a todas las personas que estuvieron en esta transmisión.
There you have it. Justice for Irving Mayren. Alright, justice for the young man. Let's go down there. They're seeking for people to show up and show out for justice for this young man that most likely was murdered. Don't know what the deal is, but what I do know is that this family is seeking justice for their loved one. And, I support them because I just don't understand how, number one, how was he even allowed to be there at the age of 19? Number two, how is it that he ends up having a scuffle with the bouncers, turns up dead? Number three, how is it that they were out there searching that area the night before they found him and no signs of him, but yet the next day, poof, he's there? Just doesn't make sense. So, with that said, I'm about to get up out of here. Let's pray for this family. May peace be upon them. You feel me? This is not something easy to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep them in our prayers. And let's help this family seek justice. Justice for that young man, Irving. Justice for little Dulce Maria Alavez. She's still out there lost with no idea, no clue of where she's at. So let's go out there and support this family on tomorrow, the next day, and the next day after that until they get justice. Let's continue to seek justice for little Dulce Maria Alavez, and let's keep praying for her family as well. May she be found soon, whichever way it is that we find her. But we need some kind of closure. Don't you agree? With that said, my good peoples, this is your boy, Moises Beauchamp Jr., getting up out of here. Like, share, subscribe, do all them good things to support your boy. Peace. I'm gone.
Looking for a web developer? Your search is over. Contact our team of dedicated professionals to check out our quality services designed to meet your exact needs. All of our professionals have lots of experience in delivering a wide range of solutions and options, and we're confident that you'll be completely satisfied. All our services are carried out to assured standards, leaving you with great results. Our friendly team is waiting to hear from you to answer any specific questions that you may have about how we can fulfill your needs. Your satisfaction is our prime concern.
So please contact us today, moisesbeauchamp.com.